A couple decides to go on a getaway to the suburbs, only to find the trip turns into a trailer for a horror movie. Just as Em was ready to cross the green light, a group of kids soon passed on their bikes, almost crashing into them. Am was furious. He gritted his teeth and held back his anger, only to find another car swoop in and steal his parking spot. Mother was lecturing her kids, and when Xiaoyu took a quick peek, she was met with a death stare. Little did they know, craziness was about to. Little did they know, today's drama was just a warm-up for the chaos that was about to unfold. The next day, Am took Xiaoyu to a no-entry zone. Having been there before, he strutted along a secret path like he owned the place. The warning sign didn't faze them at all. They quickly found the entrance. Suddenly, the GPS chimed in, "You have a chance to turn around." Clearly, they brushed off the warning and proceeded to stroll towards the lake. Suddenly, a small boy appeared, and when Xiaoyu tried to greet him, the boy totally ignored them. Talk about awkward. Soon, they reached the lake's edge and started setting up the sunbathing gear like seasoned pros. Just then, two big boys showed up, scaring off the little one and even snapping his fishing pole. Talk about mean. Xiaoyu thought, better keep my head down, and started dozing off. But the noise of barking dogs woke him up. To his surprise, there were now even more kids around. And didn't want trouble, so he decided to take a dip. But before he knew it, a big black dog came charging at him, which made him realize these kids were out of control. Furious, he marched over to turn off their music and told them to keep it down. But guess what? They just cranked it up louder. Thinking they were just kids, Am held back his anger. Little did he know, the little delinquents would only get bolder. As they left, they taunted Xiaoyu, and Am thought, alright, let's keep the peace. But Xiaoyu felt like someone was watching them from the bushes. That night, Am sought romance, but sensed he was watched. Next day, when Xiaoyu woke up, food was infested with ants, and the car for town breakfast blew up with a glass bottle. Clearly, this was all the handiwork of those boys, and Am was fuming, plotting a sweet revenge. They couldn't even have breakfast because these little rascals were tormenting them. Am was determined to give them a taste of their own medicine. Am asked the waitress if she knew anything about the boys, but she suddenly turned cold, refusing to help them. As Am was about to head back to the lake, he accidentally spotted the boys' bikes, and the fire in his belly flared up. Ignoring Xiaoyu's protests, Am marched toward the boys' place, only to have the dad show up out of nowhere. Dad started yelling at Xiaoyu. Clearly, the welcome party in this town was unique. Am thought, oh boy, now they'll think him a thief. So he scrambled to escape from the roof like a ninja. Thank goodness he wasn't caught, and both Am and Xiaoyu sighed in relief. But the nightmare was just beginning. After Am resurfaced, Xiaoyu suddenly realized their backpack was missing, and it contained all their valuables. They rushed back to their parking spot, but what they saw left them in shock was their car. They traced the car's tracks, knowing full well who was behind it, only to see those boys driving Am's car like they were in a joyride. In a state of helplessness, Am could only follow the tire tracks and eventually located them during the night. But when he approached them, the leader of the boys was not having it, totally out of control. Xiaoyu realized they were looking for trouble and urged Am to just let it go. After all, they were outnumbered and had a big dog on their side. Am thought it might be better to report to the police, but unfortunately, this was far from over. Although Am said to back down, he was determined not to let this go. A car is a trivial matter, but pride is paramount. He ranted, rushing forward to seize the car keys, only to ignite an intense tug-of-war. Soon after, he had to apologize, saying he just wanted his keys, which the boys eventually tossed at him. But Xiaoyu knew they wouldn't let it slide so easily, so he urged them to escape quickly. And indeed, the boys jumped to action and began chasing them down. Am and Xiaoyu finally found their escape vehicle. They hit the gas to flee, but the path was too slippery, and the vehicle wouldn't budge. Meanwhile, the boys began those stroke-hurling rocks, shouting loudly, "Step on it, quickly." "Oh my gosh, unlock the car immediately, hurry up." They were mere inches away from getting the door open. Finally broke free, but with the car's headlights smashed, he couldn't see a thing and slammed right into a dead tree. A branch pinned him to the driver's seat as IOU tugged away, but couldn't budge it. Realized they wouldn't let him off easily, so he urged IOU to hide quickly. He suggested waiting for help at dawn, but little did he know, the boys were hot on their tails. The next day, IOU crawled out from his hiding spot, but was nowhere to be found. Tracking the snow tracks on the ground, IOU eventually discovered him securely tied to a tree stump. The ringleader was ready to do something terrible to him, and the rest urged the boss to let him go. Instead, the boss pulled out a little knife, threatening, "Whoever defies me better watch out." IOU could only watch helplessly, enduring the heartache, and finally remembered his phone, but there was no signal at all.